Hello. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to another one. So, this week is the last week of July, okay? It's National Saving Month in South Africa. So, in honor of National Saving Month, I couldn't let the month finish without talking about how to start saving. So, I'm going to talk about how to start saving on a low income. So I'm going to split this video into two sections. The first one is going to be why it's important to save, and the second one is going to be the different steps that you can take to start, to get yourself into the habit of saving money. So part one of this video is why you should save. So the first reason would be to start building up a emergency fund. So emergency funds, I know we hear a lot of people talking about emergency fund, and people give this astronomical figures, and you're just like, where am I gonna get that money? But it's actually important to have one. Emergency fund is one of the things that you save towards, so that you can have money on hand when you have a crisis or a situation or whatever it may be, depending on what it is and depending on what your situation is. But it's always good to have money on hand. It's always good to have an emergency fund. And then the second, number two reason why it's important to have money saved is that you can buy items cash. There are some things that I just don't see the purpose of buying on credit. Like, I understand maybe if you're moving into a new house, you need to get furniture, and furniture is not cheap, it's quite expensive, and then you paying it off over a certain period of time. But the other things like clothes, food, are you for real? So some items, like, you really don't need to buy them on credit. It's easier for you to just save it up and buy it cash, and then you own it. It's yours. Nobody's gonna call you about it. Nobody's gonna ask you, where's our coin and all of that. And then rather than going out of your budget to buy items that you didn't really need but you wanted, right? Then you go out of your budget, and then you have a difficult time getting to the end of the month. Rather than doing that, you can save up for it and buy it when you have the money. The third thing, which I love, and I think it's one of my favorite reasons to save, is that you have money readily available to invest. Well, in my opinion, investing is not necessarily putting your money in stocks or trading and things like that. Investing money can also be starting a business or using some of that money to get your side hustle started. Maybe you've been thinking of this idea, you're like, oh my goodness, I want to do this, I want to do that, but maybe you don't have the money for it. But if you have money saved up over a specific period of time, you can then, of course, draw from that money that you've saved to go towards your investment of being maybe a business or a side hustle or something, not necessarily stocks and trading and things like that. Also, it saves you time, because when you have the money readily available, you can just, if you have an idea, you can work on it. You can immediately start working on it because you know that you have working capital. So that's my favorite part of saving. I adore that side of it, of knowing that if I want to invest into something in my life, or maybe I want to do a course or whatever, I don't have to take money from my monthly budget. I can just take money from my saving that I've put away specifically for investing in my life and investing in my future. That's my favorite part of saving. Okay, so now it's time to go to part two of this video, which is steps to take to start saving. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is save with purpose. So if you're saving money, right, and you don't allocate it to a specific purpose, right, that's just delayed spending. Take that in, because I want you to think about it. It's money that you don't save with a purpose is just delayed spending. So let me make an example. if I want to go on a trip with my girls, and my girls and I have spoke about it the previous November. We're like, girls, next year in December, let's go on a trip. Here's the itinerary, here's the accommodation, here's the food prices, everything. And let's just say it totals up to 10 grand, right? So then I start working on it in January. I know that, okay, if by December I need to have 10 grand, it means on a monthly basis I need to save at the most. The highest amount I need to save is 1,000 rand every month. So I have an intentional reason why I'm saving the money, right? So if anything happens, if anything comes along and I know that I have money, but it's money for my trip, I'm not going to touch it because I understand the fact that, okay, this money is saved specifically for my trip. I'm not going to touch it for anything else, right? And then you obviously would do the same with any other thing that you maybe want to do. If maybe you want to work on that emergency fund that we spoke about, you say, by the end of the year, I want to have 600 rand saved in my emergency fund. You know that, okay, that's 50 rand on a monthly basis every month. The point is to know exactly what you're saving for and the timeline and know the amount as well, right? So the second thing that you're gonna now want to do is open a separate account. Hear me out. Some banks give you an option to have your main account and your saving account all in one, right? And I know the temptation is to put money in your saving account, right? But it's still connected to your banking app. When you need that money, you can easily just take it out. You can literally so easily just go into your banking app and transfer the money back. Don't act like you've never done it. I mean, even I've also done it. I know what I'm saying. Like, it's so easy to just transfer it from your saving account within your banking app and put it back to your normal debit account where you can just withdraw, right? Or maybe not withdraw, but you can just swipe and it's there. Then you have the money available to you. No, you want to open a separate account. A separate account. A separate account that takes you a little bit more effort and a little bit more energy to get to that money. Because now you know the purpose. Why are you saving the money? You're saving the money because you want to go on a trip, or you're saving the money because you want to have a specific amount of money saved up. You want to buy something, you want to purchase a specific item, right? And you have that purpose in mind. Maybe you want to, for those who have more finances, you want to start saving up towards, buying a house or a car or whatever. You have that specific goal in mind. So then you're going to open an account that serves that purpose. If you want to save for maybe a 3 to 6 month period, then you will have an account from which you can withdraw money after 3 months or after 6 months, right? Maybe you want to save for maybe a longer period of time, maybe 3 years. Then you can have a separate account from which you can withdraw after that period of time. Because if you have access to the money, you're going to eat it, period. I know because I've done this so many times, and immediately after I've used my money that I was saving, I regretted it. I have to make a plan. I can't have my money easily accessible to me like this because I'm just gonna waste it. Because that's literally what it was. It was me taking out my saving account to just get something that I didn't really need, or something that could have been put off a month or two, So I've done it, and I know that it's so easy to just fall into that trap. So open a separate account, put your money, and make sure that the account serves your purpose, and make sure that it's an account where you'll get a good interest rate. But we'll definitely talk about it in a separate video. And the third thing is you're gonna start small. Don't try to open your account and then immediately you start saving like this astronomical number that you've never done before. Saving is a discipline. It takes a while to get into, right? And once you start seeing your money grow, that's when it actually starts becoming easier to put money away. If you've never saved 1,000 rand before, it don't think it's going to come easy for you to put away 1,000 rand. That's why I say start small. The point is to start putting money away in small increments and growing over time, and not trying to be, like Superman or Superwoman or whatever, and putting away this huge amount of money that you've never done before. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. I know, because I've done this, and yeah, like I said, I regret taking out money that I was saving for a specific purpose and reason just because something came up that was not even a priority. I could have literally done it in a month or two. And in my mind, and I know that other people do this too, it's like, no, I'll put it back. No, next month when I get money, I'll put it back. Yeah, you will put it back, I know. But the point is to start in small increments and grow that muscle over a period of time. So I'm going to now suggest saving methods. So I did this a few years ago. I was saving 1 rand every day, right? Whatever coins or whatever money I had in my wallet, I would take them out and put them in this container. And then at the end of every month, I would then take the money to the bank. So I was saving 1 rand a day, which is something that you can start with. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you start, let's use the beginning of the year as an example. You start on the 1st of January, right? Although don't wait for the 1st of January. You can start even immediately when this video finishes. And you take 1 rand, right? And you save it up until the end of the month. Depending on what month that is, 1 rand equals to 28 rand or 30 rand or 31 rand. By the end of the year, it's 365 or 366, depending on if we're in a leap year. That's 366 rand that you would have not normally saved, right? By the end of the year. And I feel like that's such an amazing accomplishment, even though to someone else, someone who may have more money or someone who's been saving for a longer period of time than you, it doesn't sound like a lot. But having that 365 rand saved is an accomplishment, and you should definitely be proud of yourself if you do it. It's just a suggestion. And the second suggestion would be to save 10 rand every week. So in a year, there are 52 weeks. So if you save 10 rand every week, that's 520 rand that you would have not had otherwise saved, right? And then the last suggestion is to save either 50 or 100 rand every month. So if you save 50 rand every month, that's 600 rand, right? If you save 100 rand every month, that's 1.2. And if it's your first time saving money, that's money that you would have not had any other time. So I always suggest starting with these kinds of small amounts that are manageable. It's very simple to start with these little kinds of changes instead of trying to immediately start saving like this huge amount. Start small. Start with 1 rand a day. Start with 10 rand a week, or 50 rand a month, or 100 rand a month, depending on what your resources are and how disciplined you think you can be. But yeah, and then over time you will obviously start increasing how much you put away, because you would have now built this muscle. When you see the money that you have in your saving account, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like, wow, I've accomplished something wonderful. And then obviously the following year, or whenever you decide to up your increments, it becomes easier because you've already built this muscle. You've worked out your saving muscle. So yeah, I think it's so wonderful when we make these kinds of changes to our daily life, when we know better, so we do better. I know that's right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. So tell me what saving suggestion you'll be taking, and if you've already been saving for a while, please encourage other people in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And a big thank you to everybody who has already subscribed. It means so much to me, and I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope everybody has a blessed day.